Now listen, seriously. I'm going to tell you the story about that song because it will never, ever, unfortunately, now have the chance to be played properly. But at 10:30 last night, I came up with this brilliant idea. We should do this. And someone very kind stepped in at the last minute. So, I was going to have a charity cage fight against Sky Blue. And I thought, how can I really fuck his head up before I even get into the cage? So I thought we'd have that first bit, which is by a band called Mystica. Go and house at its absolute finest. Really build a crescendo up so you're going. And then as soon as that had finished, the curtains be drawn away and there'll be all of my team in little wizard hats skipping down, singing bippity boppity boo. Now, if that didn't give him some form of nightmares, nothing would. So welcome, Pillages' last Huzzah. It's going to be epic, I hope. Hello. You brought me my Hobbit sex toy for later. Fantastic. All right, guys. Can you hear me okay without the mic? Yeah, I mean, my voice is fairly fucked. I'll have this in my hand. It's not like a painful thing you could do with it, is there?
Are you going to be on the stage?
No, I want to be here.
People might lick you.
People might lick me. Who would like to lick me, just out of interest? To be honest, that's a bigger amount of people than I anticipated.
Gary, off to you.
You got your hands up really quickly. Okay. What I would really like, Mr. Nasser Butt, I know you're here. Hello, sir. Would you be very kind and do the warm-up for me? Just to get their juices flowing. No, he does it to me, and my juices flow drippingly. Not done that a woof yet, have we? Woof. Beautiful. Those of you who've never met the wonderful man that is Nasser Butt, he's just amazing. And one of the best people I've met.
Nice and simple, okay? Feet parallel, shoulder width apart, hands like really. Push down and breathe out. One more. Breathe out. Down again. Now this time just breathe out. On towards your feet. Push away from your core, circle out, and straight down. One more. And down. This time, breathe in, roll the palms up, all the way to the top, circle, and down we go. Back up again, balance, and as you do that, you're going to literally bring the palms together and let them smash, okay? And you've got to really let go of yourself. I shouldn't have said that, should I? All right, so here we go. Right, yeah, in breath. Right, so you're rolling forward. Out breath. One more. In breath. Roll forward. Out. You've got to let go here, and you've got to literally let your energy go. Breathe in. Thank you. All yours.
We have very good, an old-time friend of mine here today, Andy Gibney. Where are you, Andy? As ever. As ever. We had a great mutual friend, did we not, in Seafood Richard Bastillo, who to me was just epitomised everything that was good about human beings, and he very kindly took me under his wing for a lot of different things. And I miss him, and he died of cancer last year. But he always said the best thing to do with a good seminar is to start off with a few questions and answers, because it wastes everybody's time. which I thought was brilliant. So I'm going to waste 10 minutes of your time and have a quick question and answer while I get my breath back. So, anything you want, guys. Brilliant, thank you so much. Bigley.
How do you get why being so goddamn sexy?
It's a fucking curse.
Just, you know.
No, he has.
Stop turning.
Hang on. This is the gospel truth. This is Russ. I was in hospital, and they were. It was kicking out time, and there's this little head pops around. And he goes, "It's me. I can see it's you. What are you doing?" He said, "I bought you a Playboy magazine, which is still unsealed, ish, and 6 bottles of hot sauce, which had actually been done in my name." Which was, I tell you what, one of the greatest things. Cancer is not all bad. You get hot sauces named after you. I've had a poem done, there's a song apparently, and there's possibly a play. I've asked them to sort of cast Denzel Washington. I think he'd really capture the mood. Or Helen Mirren in a more challenging role. But there you go. Sensible question-ish. No?
Tony, what makes you determined and keep going with this cancer?
Thank you, Mark. I want at least 5 questions, I fucking think. I'm going to actually... Connor, come out here with you. This is why I wanted you here, funny enough. You're not going on the stage, you're not that good. Right. This gentleman. Connor is one of the best young boxers I ever worked with. He's got a jaw like steel, and we recognised kindred spirits, I think, didn't we? You know, he'd gone off the rails a bit when he was younger. I intended to when I got older, and did. And we became good friends. And unfortunately, a very dear friend of his mum, mum had died of cancer recently, and he came into my office with him one day, and I was not in the best of frames, was I? And he said, "I can't see you like this." He said, I need to see you're worried. If you go, I want to see you carried on shields on people's shoulders. And that one sentence made all the difference, because the end game is exactly the same, isn't it? You're going to die. We're all going to die. Yeah, we're all terminal cancer patients, or heart patients, or hemorrhoids patients, whatever. How many people smiled then and knew what I meant? He certainly did. and I sat down, and it was one night I couldn't sleep, and what he said in my head kept going over and over. I can either die and just be a snivelling idiot, or just couldn't cope and give up, or I could fight it. Now, yesterday is 4 years to the day that I had my operation. The operation that they said, when I asked them, "Would you please cut the incision so I look like I've been attacked by a shark?" That he didn't like that, but he didn't do it. But it doesn't matter. So it's still nice. But now I've got more things to worry about, because today we say it's the last Huzzah. Unfortunately, it could well be, because with the operation not being a complete success, as you can hear, I've still got 5 litres of liquid splashing about here. Yesterday I found it hard just to get upstairs, so today's a really good day. But what they're likely to do is they're going to drill two ribs out, make a hole in my side. That will be open forever, and then there'll be pads on it that I have to change myself 3 times a day. Bit of a pain, not too sexy to be fair.
Yeah, but you can charge people to have a look inside them, can't you?
You sick bastard. I fucking love that idea. We can have like the platinum pass, they can have a little finger in. Can you imagine Moochie going on Facebook at Kazan? Come to Kazan, finger pillage. I bet there's more people there this year than last. He hasn't got big enough fingers. Alright guys, we're going to do some martial arts, but seriously, I just want to say something. When we first mooted this idea, Ian Gola's here, just come back from, where have you come back from? Manchester. Crap. It's nice to see you. I thought we might get 50 or 60 people coming. There's 145 people here today. 140. Okay, well, say 150 people are here today, and we know how hard it is to get people to come to seminars these days. So, genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, every single person for being here today. It means the world to me. Are we in for a world of pain? Because John Hamill is. This weird fucker here, who I absolutely love and adore, he's like my goodish spiritual brother. Gav is my bad spiritual brother. There's like one on one shoulder, one on the other, isn't there? I normally listen to him though, that's the trouble. John was very kindly the Uki in my second DVD.
Very kindly. I didn't really have a choice.
That's
You're doing it. Yeah,
But can I tell you just a very quick story about this man from XL Arena. Best. I was hoping someone, for the next question and answer, just hinting vaguely, might go, what are your favourite moments in martial arts?
What's your favourite moment in martial arts?
I'll come back to that in a second, sir, thank you. But we'll do that with another break, but I'm really fun. This is the gospel truth. We had been in the VIP bar at XL, because I've been teaching there, and it was Michael Bisping was there, Eddie Hall, Jesus Christ, he was big, Dave O'Donnell, all the celebs were there. And John, being John, is a very nice character, went up to Bisping and started talking to him. And Bisping was really rude to him.
Can I just interrupt you now? Because bear in mind we've been drinking all day. Tony comes up with the amazing idea, I'm looking at me, looking at Bisping and saying, I think you could have it. Go and talk to him, see what he's like.
That's not strictly true. So then all of a sudden, it starts getting a bit... So Dave O'Donnell jumps in front of me, he's screwing up to Bisping, and then Eddie Hall just comes between us and went... I thought, probably time to go, wasn't it? Anyway, we're chatting in the concourse to some friends, and I don't know how this happened, and this is, I swear, everything I say now is 100% true. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw a bit of movement, and literally just went like that. Kakiyuki, if you're being precise. It was John. John had decided, at full bore, to rugby tackle me. Why did you want to do that, John? Because you were really pissed, weren't you? And you still had that adrenaline from going to fight Bisping, yeah? But as I did this, it came right under his nose perfectly, completely changed his direction, and he went off 20 foot the other way. And he looked up at me and he goes, that's why you're a master. Now, the truth is this, and I swear this, if you gave me 10,000 attempts to do that again, could never do it. It was one of those most beautiful moments in time, and it would be in my top 5 moments in martial arts history. Right. Now, just out of interest, is there anything, you know, a lot of you have been very kind and trained me before, is there anything that you particularly like me to go over?
Spleen 6 on Daddy.
We'll save that as a finale. I think what we're going to do, we're going to recreate one of my favourite moments in martial arts, when I choked out Trevor Roberts. Should we start off with a bit of choking and then it'll just get better? Yeah? Let's go. Get a pain. Guys, if you could, I haven't got a lot of extra puff. So what I will say is...
Can't say that now. I'm offended.
You are such a wanker, Bruce. Sorry, she-hand wanker. Please just sort of try and listen in. The figure 4 choke, as we know it, has, everyone should have it in their itinerary. I personally believe, look at you two. I personally believe if you've got 6 or 7 techniques in your bin, which you are extremely good at, that will get you out of most situations. I genuinely believe that, because if you think about what Peter Constantine used to talk about with the old hourglass, which he called the what? You can remember? Because I fucking can't. The technique log jam, of course I remembered. That when you actually, the shit hits the fan, you go back to the techniques that you feel most comfortable with. So if I was to just point something out random, what's your favourite technique? Right cross. Kathy. Choke. Okay. Mark. A kick in bollocks. Yeah, okay. Sir. Hammer fist.
He stole mine, hammer fist.
Okay. Where's? Just the element of surprise for Wes. But we've all got our own ones, haven't we? I mean, mine will be a choke, certainly. Probably a right palm heel, a slap, low kick into the leg. But the figure 4, I think, is really important because it does what? It gives us what? What does it give us?
Time.
Time. Yeah, what else? It gives us control. If he really wants to kick off, we can put him out as easy as anything. But if he wants to play nice, we've given him that option rather than just knocking him out. Yes? I think there's another one as well as a form of protection against the third party coming in. Okay? So we'll start off with one of my favourites, if you like. So, as I come in here, we'll just do a one-handed one to start off with. Coming under and using the bone here, coming up behind the head, and then I'm going to use this as a fulcrum. I've heard that noise before with you. We don't talk about that. Okay, right. It's that secret. So as we're coming in, we're going to give him a little softener coming in here. Come up, go to the back of your head. What could this also be useful for, Simon?
Control again.
Yeah, so you come in.
All right, yeah.
Fuck off, I'll break your fucking neck. Do you understand? Fuck off. Fuck off now. Yeah? That's me fucked for the rest of the day, by the way. We'll have a coffee break now. So, idea is try and hit something on the back here as you go down. Gallbladder 20, medulla oblongata here. Perfect ones to get that little knockout, okay? Try it, off you go. Right. What we want to do is, if possible, is to get this right on the front of the neck here. Now, some of you are having problems because you are working with someone. Just put that on our friend here, Dan.
You got box.
Yeah, exactly. So would that be the right technique? It wouldn't, would it? You wouldn't be trying to do that. So if it's not working for you because of the height difference, don't worry, it wouldn't work for anybody unless you sort of want to take their legs away. But a lot of you are using this, which is, you know, it's effective, certainly, but where's the problem with that? Sorry? I think the problem more, if you come in here and you put that on as just a normal choke, it's comfortable and you're not going to damage them. I've seen people pulling this in like that into the windpipe. What's that going to do? Sorry? It's going to fuck them up real good. It's not just going to fuck them up real good. And a lot of, you could kill someone quite easily with that, yeah? It also means if you miss, you can also start using this into there, okay? So, what I'm saying to you is, try that if you want, be really gentle, and I'd also find using that bit of bone there just helps really fucking hurt. I've missed this. I've really missed it.
Me too.
Or do it properly, there, then use the stretch, right? Off you go. I love the trousers, by the way. Just come out here for a second. Because I've got no breath, would you explain who you are, apart from my probation officer?
My name's Paul Graney, I'm the head of operations for Fighting for Autism over in Europe. And Tony, I've known you for a long while now.
Yeah.
There's quite a few ambassadors that are actually in here, and to be perfectly honest, they have all made a massive world of difference.
We've got some friends. Give us a wave. Wendy and Simon. They've got two boys who are autistic, who are two of the most lovely, sentient and musical children you will ever meet in your life. All of you guys here today could become ambassadors and help work with these kids who need that interaction. And Mike Knight, who is now basically taken over with Dev Dunkley, the way of the spiritual warrior, he's worked with autistic kids now 5 years, isn't it, mate? 7 years. Incredible, isn't it? And the work he's done, I've seen the difference. I've seen the difference with the kids coming into the dojos, and it makes their lives better. And there's been a University of Wisconsin report saying that martial arts will help kids with these problems. And it's our job as instructors to encompass that, not put them in another room, put them in another box. Some of the best kids we've ever had at the dojo have been autistic, and certainly within the Asperger's spectrum.
Sorry, I wasn't listening. Excuse me, no.
Hang on, you saw that with drugs, bollocks.
I've got the oral.
Yeah. No, so, I was just saying, some of the Asperger's kids we've had, and some of the other kids with autism we've had at the dojo, they've made huge strides in their lives. You know, go out and look for these people, because as Paulie says, you know, Pete, where's Pete gone? Quite disguised against that wall. I know it's something you guys specialise in Peterborough, and they do an incredible amount of work. Bring them in, enjoy it. Because I tell you what, some of the autistic kids I've worked with just bring me more joy and happiness than anybody else. They're just so funny and open. You just learn about yourself, don't you? Then you've got Jamie Seal as well. There's Jamie. Jamie's also very proud that he's on the autistic spectrum. Yeah, he's one of, people think, okay, he's one of the best ninjutsu practitioners in the UK, and he uses his autism for doing magnificent work. He's so fucking OCD, it's ridiculous. Do not go round to his house, you've only got 10 minutes spare. You will not get out. But that focus that the autism has given you, the work he turns out is extraordinary.
Genuinely, I appreciate it, because you know I struggle with it anyway, like talking to people with different bits and pieces.
Well, shut up then. That's my highlight of my day, to be honest. Okay, so we've gone up to the, but please help, please, all right? Like him, okay? Good, thank you very much. So, I first learnt my pressure points, as if it doesn't rain but it pours. Can we welcome Mr. Alex Reed, part-time. It's lovely to see you're walking a bit better now. Have you taken the eggs out? I'm dying, I can say what the fuck I want. Yeah, so, we started off the premise of, what was the question? What were my proud moments in martial arts? I'll tell you the Trevor Roberts one now, if I may. We were doing a charity seminar in Walsall, I believe. And we were showing how to accentuate different techniques. Were you there? Yeah. Yeah. Who knows of Trevor Roberts, by the way? Yeah, good, because he's awesome. And his premise was he hasn't lost in 2,000 street fights. He's a professor of Sambo. He's a genuine hard man. But we were doing some techniques when he wasn't there, and what we were doing basically was putting a pulsing technique into a lock to make it go on easier. So Trevor comes out and sees it and he goes, I bloody like that. He says, what else can you use it for? I said, well, any lock really, Trevor. He said, could you use it on a chalk? I go, of course. So you're more of his height.
Good night, everybody.
And I know you wet yourself when you go out, so it's brilliant. Who went, oh, some people think
I've got one fan at least.
Yeah, so, Trevor said, I want you to try that on me. Now, Trevor's in his 60s. He had a stroke last year. So, but it's still Trevor Roberts, who's an 8th Dan, who wants to do this. So, come up, put this on. Is that all right, Trev? Yeah, that's all right. And I just pulsed about 3 or 4 times, really gently. Really, really gently.
The worst thing is, I'm like the first aider.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got.
Hang on. Let me just. Right, thank you. We're up to 50.
100.
Yeah, but the trouble is, we've got 380 on you. He said, who's the fucker who looks like Rasputin? That was it. So anyway, I go, so is that all right, Trevor? Let go. And he just went, woof. And his eyes rolled. So in 1 nanosecond, 3 things went through my head. Number 1, fucking hell, that's Trevor Roberts down there. Second one was, I fucking killed Trevor Roberts. Third one, fucking hell, this stuff's great. And when he woke up, we got him going, and he goes, that was fucking wonderful. And I go, why is that, Trev? He goes, no fuckers ever knocked me out like that before. So my pride level goes up a little bit here. And I go, oh, why is that? He says, because I fucking tap out, I'm not stupid. One of my favourite moments is I choked out Trevor Roberts. So it's a good one. But what I want you to do is to try this pulsing on this lock to begin with, okay? So everyone familiar with a centre lock, yeah? If you're not, just put your hand up and easily help you, okay? I just want you to just see where that bites,
Yep.
so you just get a bit of a feeling, and that'll be pretty much the same everywhere. And this is why Russell Stootley always used to use this, because you can get the same torsion every time, yeah? Pulsing, gives you Tourette's.
Yeah.
Or talking in Vulcan.
Yeah, the pirate's coming out any second.
Is that?
It's going to walk the plank. We've got to wait.
So all you're doing is going on, off, on, off, on, off to begin with. Then you're going to synchronise it with your breath. No.
Spicy, yeah.
Yeah, okay. But just get this right first. See where it bites. If you can't do the lock, put your hand up. There's loads of people who will help you, okay? Off you go.
Thank you.
There are instructors here. Without rambling on too long, Peter, I'll give you an hour. If you could teach just one thing to your students, what would it be? Just one thing.
Enjoy what you're doing.
Eh?
Enjoy what you're doing.
Okay? You see, that phrase puts people in a trance. I don't know how.
Calmness.
It gives you
Calmness. Teach one thing. Right.
pride, okay?
People you want.
Dan,
Don't stop learning. Like, take everything from everything.
Simon. Mindset.
Have faith in yourself.
So literally everyone's got a different thing, haven't they, yeah? My one would be, if it's wrong, sorry, if it feels it's wrong, it probably is. But as far as technique goes, this is basically the one which I would suggest is the golden bullet to everything. If I just borrow Simon for a second. We'll go back to this lock again. So, Fibbergang, fucking hell, that really, I think we got hold of it, okay? So, notice he's already trying to get away from it. Bit more pirate, please, dear.
Yeah.
I like playing with him, he's nice. Has he been good, Wendy? Has he been good?
Fuck's sake.
I know you're joking. Right, so, this time we're going to do the pulsing. Now, this time you're going to do it with the pulsing. You're going to put your tongue behind your front teeth, creating what they call the microcosmic orbit. I could spend hours, just take my word for it, okay? So every time I put it on, I go... He's actually quite excited by that. I'll do it again. But watch the difference.
That's not nice.
How much difference?
A lot.
Roughly, double.
Just too busy trying to get away from it. It was horrible.
Okay, so here, no effort, just try it, gently.
Oh, thank you.
I believe in putting this lock on, and in most walks of your life, the more kinks you can get, the better. Who would agree with that, please? Only 6 of you are honest. But if you're trying to put this on with a straight arm, it takes a lot of effort. If I make the kink happen here, I make the kink happen there, it goes on immediately, okay? What we'll do, we'll try and add a little Brucey bonus onto this. If you imagine, as you're pulling that arm out to get to that position, why do I want to control him like this? Yeah, exactly. Because I know where I can put him very quickly. There's a point just on the inside of the arm, about here. 2 fingers down from the elbow joint, on a straight line up from the thumb. And literally, when you grab, you go on to that point. If I breathe with that, he goes down quicker than Keith Priestley. My pleasure, sweetness. But if I put that a little breath in, he goes again. So pull that out. Oh, and also, guys, I've just seen a very dear friend walk in, Mr. Barrington Patterson. I don't know where he's hidden now, but he is 23 stone. And my darling friend Paul Taylor. Are you still here, Paul? Yeah, there's Paul as well. And I'll tell you what, could you just, I want to tell you two very quick stories again. Right? And you had problems with your collarbone, do you remember?
Yeah. 3 weeks away from one of my fights against Thomas.
The big Thomas.
So and I wrote you a message saying, I've got to pull out. It's, I've got no chance. He said, look, just come and see me. So I went in and see him. I don't know what he's done, but I was healed for the fight. I kept going back, and I was obviously sceptical.
Yeah.
But the heat and that, you know, what you generated from that, what that breaking, what you done was. We had a really good connection, didn't we, with that?
It was the most extraordinary healing I've ever done. You could actually see his fracture glow red through his skin. And as soon as we finished, he was up hitting the bags again, which he does.
I actually went back before the fight because obviously I didn't want to do long-lasting damage.
Yeah.
And they said it was more or less ill. So, it's amazing. 3 weeks prior to that, they were saying there was no chance. That was
one that was going to lead you up to the big league, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And also, you've got everyone here, I'm sure, would be aware of Mr. Barrington Patterson is. What I would say more than anybody, we talk about respect in martial arts. It's something we try and engender, isn't it, in our students, in the kids that we teach. I can put my hand on my heart and say to you, that man there, I could not have more respect for than Barrington. And the reason being, he did a class. Yeah, I'm only talking down here, it's all right. Wanker. Baz going to sort it. And we were doing my DVD series. And there's so much bad shit goes about does it work, won't it work in a street fight, And I thought, Baz had just been on Danny Dyer's Deadliest Men programme. Obviously a well-known cage fighter, fought Klitschko, kickboxer. You know, there's no one would vaguely question Baz's credentials, shall we say. And I asked him, I said, look, would you do this for me? And he did. And he could have been made to be looked foolish because some of the stuff was so innocuous, wasn't it? And it really bust you up. But that man's guts to do that is far and above. Sir?
In fact, loads of people know my connection with Barrington with fights and
yeah.
And loads of people ask me about that video. It really hurt Barrington, or did Barrington? Well, what it was really, you did a course with it.
Yeah.
You did a course with Dawn and knife. I went to this course, I was sitting down and watching. They'd done something on this guy. I thought, this is like bullshit. This is what I thought it's done. So I went, I said, come on, try it on me. And he'd done this thing on me, and I was like, what the fuck? No, I'm serious, I was like, what the fuck? And he said, I think he texted me and says, can you do a course with me? I went, yeah, I'll do it. And 2 days after the course, I was just covered in bloody bruises, man.
But it was wonderful, and I tell you what it did. It changed so many people's opinion on pressure points. Now, when I started doing this, my ideal was I wanted someone half the size of you to be able to at least have a chance against someone my sort of size before cancer sort of. And until I discovered pressure points, there wasn't, I didn't think. You know, with all these women's self-defense courses you see, are they real? Are they? Most of them have female-to-female instructors. Is that likely to happen? No. So, you know, when we did BAS, we did other things with these good people. It just opened up different worlds, and that's what I always wanted to do when I started the martial arts. I wanted to change it because, to me, there was a lot of wrong in it. And to begin with, how hated were we? We were hated. And now, you know, look at today. What a wonderful thing. But we kept our integrity, and we kept our pride, and we kept our honour, and we believed in what we did. And I tell you what, when you follow that through, guys, it genuinely is the best feeling in the world. It really is. So, we're going back to our locks. Thanks, gentlemen. Thank you for coming. So, this time, pulse, then breathe, and see the difference, right? Off we go. Of our thinking, this is not going to be an easy point to access. If someone who's a little bit skinnier, it's a lot easier to access. But in the heat of a fight, I usually be making these sort of predictions on size and like that. For sure. So, what would people's perception of a pressure point be? Someone? Anyone? A weak spot on your anatomy.
Something that always works? No.
Yeah.
It's a nerve, it's nerve
I personally say I would go along with Gary's interpretation. It's a weak spot on the body. And the thing is, people have said, you won't ever hit that, it's a little dark in the middle of a fight. Well, they're fucking wrong. Because, you know, if I was sitting across the face, I've got to be hitting 15 different pressure points. You know, a lot of them are knockout ones. But what we're going to do is think about this one here. Now, say someone grabs. Can you see the sound? The sound. Can you see right? So someone grabs me like this. What options have I got? I've got loads, haven't I? He's already taken away one of them. But I came up with a term which I quite like, which I call predictive bunkai. So I know that if I hit someone in a certain way, if I hit hard enough there, his head will be going forwards to allow him to do something. Yeah? I can't rely on that point. So I don't know how sensitive he is. So what I can do, I use the point as the poison tip. So I know if I hit this hard enough, he's going to come down, then I'm going to hit him and do bad shit to him. He's got DNA. Okay, so you grab, trap this, bring this down, here, drop round, nice and easy, okay? Gentle flow. If you know that heavy hand technique, just drop it in really hard and have some fun. Okay? So, these are all little bits of a jigsaw puzzle we're putting together now. So what we've done, you can now go into the figure and fought and just put that little pulse in. Now we're familiar with it and we can be subtle with it. We do not need to be strong with this. Trevor Roberts went out in seconds, not because of the strength, but because of the weakness. And I remember Pete Holmes, still merging against the wall. Hello. When we first started out our journey, Pete was Russell's Uki then, and learned a lot from him. And he said, you'll be all right at this stuff. You've just got to be a little bit more subtle. Now, that's never been said to me before. It has. But as soon as I started taking off the power side and put the finesse in, it just went through the roof. So even as gently as I could possibly do on Trevor, worked beautifully. And this is a man who's fought all his life. So we'll do the traditional figure of 4. We're going to come in. Everything's going to be done slowly here, so it's comfortable and it's not dangerous. Here, get the crook of the arm into here. Bring this up onto your shoulder or your bicep. Here, turn your head and just squeeze. Oh yeah, baby. Who's your daddy? Let's get some stories out. Mike, you'll remember this, won't you? Who believes in no-touch knockouts? Me. Boof. Hello, Rob. How's Wales? Very good. Thank you. Right. I actually do believe there are people who can do them. Unfortunately, the people who purport to be able to do them can't do them. We had a guy called Neil, who was perhaps borderline, what was the word, Mike? Twat? Gullible. That was it. And he was always late on a Thursday. And I'd watched Darren Brown do one of these knockout things. And I worked out how you did it. So as he walked in, there's someone actually fast asleep on the mat. And everyone's going, yeah. He goes, what's going on? He goes, Sensei, he knocked him out, no touch. He goes, oh, can I have a go? Of course. So, okay, well, I'm going to get all set up and just did this mumbo jumbo, put this music on, it was like Gregorian chant, and everybody's like this happening. What happened next, Mike?
He was off. The first thing he said was, look how I did in my bedroom.
After he'd been snoring for about 3 or 4 minutes. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. But with the pulsing here, it goes on so much quicker. So everything is now done slowly and beautifully and comfortably, and then we build it up from that, all right? Don't put the pulses in yet, just make sure you've got the technique right, okay? Off you go.
We're just talking about various different things that he likes to do, which is getting up behind people. He likes doing that. Some people are having a little bit difficulty with the tall person. Now, if you take this out of a learning environment, this is an exercise that you're doing, really. You're learning a principle, which isn't the same necessarily as a practical technique, right? But some of you are kind of jumping the gun a little bit and you're thinking it's practical and it's not going to work, i.e. the guy's not actually going to stand there whilst you jump up in the air here and try and put him into this choke, so you need to bring him down a little bit more. So there's a couple of little principles that you can do that help, and I know John likes this as well. You stay there, it's fine. All right? This is too tall for me to do this without any extra help. If I want to practice this exercise and understand how I'm going to change his body a little bit, he needs a little bit of a helping hand. All right? So from this position, those of you that are working with tool partners, get your partner to help you a bit. When you start to put this into position here, ask him to bend down a little bit. Now he might be hard of hearing because there's a lot of people here, so he needs a little bit of help. So you take this hand here, and you punch it in there, and then that means that he heard you when you asked him to bend down. Yeah, you can do it in the back of the leg as well if you don't want that one, but I won't do that. No, you'll be pissing blood after that. You can do it in the back of the leg as well. Yeah? You can try and put that in. Depends on the lines you're looking at. Exactly where it was. That one right there in the middle of the calf is bladder 40. It's the 40th point on the bladder line, right? If you kick that, his leg will shoot straight out the front. Right, but either one of those two will help you to bring him down the side, and then you can do your choke. Well, there you go. Here, man.
by the unconscious person down there, we just proved this stuff works. So we better move on to something different. Dan, let's just borrow you again. So say we got to this, he's come out for a punch here, I managed to move here. Now I'm going to put something a little bit different onto it. Now just do this really slowly. Here, I'm going to come off at 45 degrees, keeping this hand open. I'm going to step in, and I'm going to hit him on stomach 4. Which is, if you had a moustache, Stuart, it's right there. And it's the neck release. So if we come up on the stage with me, so all along his jawline here is a complete... Chuck him out. There's a whole line of really useful pressure points. Stomach 4 here is the one we're probably going to aim for, because when we hit 4 or 5 we're going to get a good result. But 4 here, I'm going to step and I'm ready to strike. I'm also got this. I've got another hand on him to control if I need to. I'm going to come in, smash him on there and bring this round. Now just watch. Just be strong, don't push it, okay? So it takes quite a bit of effort. If I touch on here, it turns straight away. Why are you hitting yourself? Because you're sick. And that's why we love you. So, hit on 4. As that hand is going across, we're going to cap off the shoulder, come round and squeeze. Okay, so watch again really slowly. Here. Palm. And squeeze. Off you go. Thanks, sir. Is your weapon. The whole thing. Yeah, but not in this case. Because I'm seeing a lot of you, as you're coming round, you're using the lovely paddy, lovely soft units here. We should be using the bone here to cut it. Once I've got here, I'm going to use that bone to squeeze down. Now you've got to be careful, because I have seen people's jaws come up many times. There's the bone, there's the squeeze. That won't have any effect at all. It's just annoying. That is just horrible. You also get your thumb in their eye at the same time. I've heard it.
Okay, right. Because the basis of what we're doing today is points, pressure points, yeah? What I wanted to do is we're going to start breaking them down. We're going to go on from the striking and all right, we've done the striking. The points it's how you want to get there, right? You've got to earn the right to get there. If you can't earn the right, none of them are ever going to work, right? That's your side of it. That's where you do the training. Pressure points are, all they are is an add-on. They're not a be-all and end-all, right? They are, so what we're going to do, we're going to slow it down a little bit. We're going to go on to and just show you where a few points are, okay? But the difference is where most people are showing you where points are, what we're going to do is show you where points are, but how you can use them to move the body, all right? Basically, the easiest way to explain with pressure points how they work, they cause a lot of pain, okay? Now, the body reacts without unconsciously thinking how it gets away from pain, naturally. If you touch something that's hot, it moves, you move before you realise it's hot, okay? Part of your brain that controls your breathing, your eyes, your flinch. If you get a splinter coming up, firing into your eye, you don't go, oh, there's something coming up there, it's a brick, oh no, it's not, it's a bit of wood. Yeah, you just automatically see something, bam, even before you've had a chance, you've got to react, okay? That's how quick everybody can react if you train for it, right? So that's what you're training. You're not just training to do it. If you do the correct training, you can train to do that reaction, okay? So we're going to do with the points. We're going to go nice and easy. So all we're going to do, start off here, right? Large intestine, onto here, and you get a result, okay? You want to get it so you get a result. I don't want anybody slamming it, I don't want you pushing it, you've just got to do it as right as you can, until you see a result. okay? I don't want to see people going through the floor. I just want to get it. You can see by his body. And it's all about training now. We're just touching, we're doing finesse, okay? Finesse, touch, get a result. Then, once you've got the result, then I want you to start moving your thumb different ways. Where he's going? Coming here. He's coming this way, okay? By touching this, if I push that way, his body starts moving that way. If I touch here and cut that way, he starts moving. I'm not controlling where he wants to go, other than using my thumb, okay, with angle and direction. Obviously, it's not what we're going to do if someone's there, like we're going to do, you're going to slam it. But what it does show is if you slam it down, he's going to go down. If I slam it across, his body's going to go that way. If I come this way, he's going to come towards me. If you want to go into locks, take it, then he'll start going round, all right? So by doing this, and the same with every point that we've got, we're coming down to our heart too. Yeah, you're into here, if I go to there, it's going to react. If I push away, it's going to come up, pull down, it's going to come this way. All right? So you can start seeing which way he's going, okay, with little effort. All right? So, all we're going to do is first, we'll start on here, because it's nice and easy to get to. So what we need to do is just touch it, so you get a result, so you get a movement. As soon as you get that movement, hold it on. What a lot of people do is they'll do it, and they'll go, there's a movement, and then they'll release it. Or they'll do that, and as he moves, they don't follow his arm. Okay? Keep the pressure on, follow his arm. Once he's there, you get it, then you can start pulling and start moving it about. Okay? If you hurt them, cup your hand, hit it, rub it, slide it back in. Okay? Give it a go.
Because it's all about love, it's all about sharing our love, and I think that's going to give them a little bit more of an energy boost to carry on hurting people for the rest of the afternoon. Okay, so if anyone's got anything that they wanted to say about why they've come here, what you expected today, what this guy has done for you, how he's inspired you, or people that you know, and so on, if you can stick your hand up and we'll start putting the mic around. Thank you very much.
I'd just like to say, the day I went to the Isle of Man, the first time I went to the Isle of Man, and there's this strange guy at the bottom of the street in a leather jacket, flying cap and glasses, and I'd heard about Mr. Police before, but to see him in real life was like, I love him. I loved him from that moment, and I'm here because I still love you.
I love you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is first time on this, Mr. P. I basically couldn't see what everybody were raving about. Everything I heard about it is true. Nobody's had a bad word to say about it, so I thought I couldn't see what it was all about.
Can I just point out I'm not getting any refunds? Gone.
So all the bad stuff you've heard is also true.
It's bad stuff I've gone for. I'm sorry.
Hiya. Hello. Okay, so I'm speaking from 2 points here, as a martial arts practitioner and also as a nurse. So we all get injuries over a period of time. I am broken. But every time that I get up and start training and something's hurting, I think, oh, get up, you soft lass. He's working with that every day when he doesn't want to get up. He's feeling sick, his bones hurt, and he gets up every day. And that's what makes me carry on training. From a nurse's point of view, it's nice to hear the trials that he goes through. Well, it's not, but you know what I mean? It's nice to know how he deals with it mentally, how he doesn't let it get it down, because I only see the crap stuff. But he has totally changed my life, the way I'll nurse cancer patients from now on.
Thank you very much. I'm sure we'll have a few more things as we go on through the afternoon, but I think you can carry on hurting people now.
I will tell you a quick story. This is brilliant. In Coventry there is a theatre called the Belgrade, and it was built by wood sent over by the city of Belgrade after World War II, hence the name. And we saw in the paper Sir Ian McKellen was going to do a question and answer talk at the Belgrade, because that was the very first time he'd ever been on stage. This is Magneto. This is Gandalf. This is like, fucking hell, it's Ian McKellen. Okay, thank you. So, he came on at 7:47, which was exactly the time 50 years before he'd gone on stage. And the first half was just him talking about his performances and doing little excerpts of Shakespeare, and it was fascinating, and how his honesty helped change the anti-gay movement in this country, which was an absolute farce, as we all know. So, second half, he does a bit, and then they go, right, we're going to have question and answers. And I had a question. I had a genuine question. So, we're up in the, what they call the gods, is it? And then everybody else is downstairs. But there's only lighting on downstairs. So they're putting their hands up, and he's picking them. And about half an hour went by, and no one from our lot managed to get a word in. And I really need to ask him this, because what other chance in your life can you get to speak to Gandalf and Magneto? You can't, can you? So, in effect, this went on and on, and then they brought up a mic, and they gave it to a guy who was getting ready to answer, to ask a question, but he didn't get in quick enough because someone downstairs had put their hand up, hadn't they? And I'm getting really fucked off with this. We are not going to get a chance. So I thought, bollocks. So I just went over, grabbed the mic off him, sat down, and because the upstairs hadn't been used at all, we didn't realise how powerful the speakers were. So just as Sir Ian finishes what he's saying, I go, Sir Ian! And it fucking... and he's like looking around like this, because he can't see us upstairs. So I'm waving at him, and then I said something which I really shouldn't have done. I go, hello, Ted. She wants to kill me. And he didn't know the answer to the question. I was so pissed off. It was ridiculous. We have one more question before we start off again. Let's have a question, please.
If you were put in a room
with Guy Bloom,
with the 5 most inspirational instructors
that
you've ever come across, what would be the one question you'd ask them all?
You bastard, that's a tricky...
You and it.
Temporarily. I don't know, mate, it's honest, because there would be so many things you could ask them. It would be a summation, because coming to the end of my martial arts career, I wouldn't have been the person I am without my martial arts. That saved me. And I bet I look around and there's another half of you who were saved by doing martial arts, and rightly so. Rob Phelps would have been in prison, no question. Twice.
With you, probably.
In another one of your fantasies coming out now, isn't it? But, you know, as you can imagine, over the last 4 years, I've done a lot of soul searching and a lot of thinking. And you tend to with what's going on. You know, once I broke, they said, right, you'll be dead in a year. Once I beat that, I was going, fucking yeah, you bastards. But it gets harder and harder. And I'm beating it by 11 months, 2 days, so doing all right. But what I have learned, who thinks they've actually reached that stage of sort of self-actualisation where they've peaked? Good. No one should have done. But well, he has. He's about the best person I know. But my self-realisation, if you were to ask me, would be exactly the same as Guru Dan Inosanto. Why do we do martial arts? And I'm sure you could answer that question. Yeah, because you shout out some...
So look after our friends and family and clan.
Yeah, it's about love. That's what he says, it's about love. It's about love of yourself to make you a better person. It's about love of your family. It's about love of your friends. And it's a wonderful thing. And I know for a fact that during my journey, which is, you know, it's been an incredible one. I can't even begin. When we first started this, I remember saying to Sarah 17 years ago, something big's round the corner, I have no idea what it is, just please bear with me. And then within a couple of months...
It was me.
It was, yeah, it was, no, it fucking was though. I saw him in a white suit. Okay, it was like that, and it was strapped up, and he was being wheeled into a bus. But he inspired me. God knows why. But the people I've met on the journey, I mean, I remember one morning, there was, I had a phone call from Richard Bustillo, Hoyce Gracie, and Chuck Liddell's manager in one morning. That was weird, but slightly sexy. Well, quite fucking sexy, to be honest. And we've met some brilliant people, you know, and it's been wonderful, isn't it? And could I just borrow, Paul, did you put your hand up?
I did, I just wanted one more question.
Yeah, of course, mate.
How did you get into your pressure points? What made you think that that's the thing you wanted to master?
Truthfully, I went out to, I met Ian Abernathy, who is I know Pete will vouch for him, he's a god in karate terms. He said, when you're out in Cyprus, my mum had just got over her first bout of breast cancer. So he took her to, and I said, I'm going to go training with this guy who's an expert in pressure points. And I was sort of trying to find my way, what worked for me, what didn't. And I went there the first day, we hired a car, drove 70 miles to the other side of the island, and Sarah picked me up 2 hours later, and she said, what was that like? I said, I'm going back tomorrow. And she said, okay, that's fine, that's lovely, dear. We'll go shopping again with your mum, I'll take your mum out for another couple of hours. And then she said, oh, what are we doing tomorrow? I said, well, look, I've got an idea. She said, you're not going back. I said, but just the once, just the once. Following day was, you're not going there because I will fucking divorce you. I've got a car. And we spent the whole day in his garden, didn't we? And that's how it started, but it was my belief in that I want people, not your size or mine, because we can get away from most fucking things. It's about people who are weaker, giving them a chance.
That's what jiu-jitsu and things like that was designed for, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The same sort of take on it.
And it's all in there, in the old karate katas, in the old kung fu forms. Anything that's old has these pressure points in them. They were known 2,000 years ago. They genuinely were. But just very quickly before we start, can I just borrow Mike and Dev, please? Just to make this sort of a little bit more formal. 2 years ago, when I got my bad diagnosis, Sarah and I spoke, and we thought we were going to have to sell the dojo. It was too much work for Sarah, and you can imagine the pressure of her trying to run her Pilates, trying to run the dojo, trying to look after me. It was impossible. And she did a remarkable job. Unfortunately, we put it up for sale. We didn't want our students to know in case there was like a mass exodus. And for 2 years we waited for that money to come in, and it didn't. But then all of a sudden it got to the point where that money was available. And they started doing things, and I was lying in hospital. And I thought, I can't have this person running my legacy, because this is my legacy. You know, I look at the organic, Neil and I speak often about the organic friendships that we've made through doing the dinners, through doing Kaizen, doing good things with good people. There's so many people here now who a year ago didn't know each other, but are now the closest of friends. And I look at that and I think that's a lot to do with the framework that we set up. So it was never ever about your style, your association. It was about you as people. If you're a nice person, come in and play. If you're not, fuck off. Oh, sorry, a bit louder. Fuck off. Okay? Where is I don't even see him. You're banned. So for me, the martial arts was always about, to begin with, making people safe. Now, I'd say that's changed. I mean, I look at the stuff that people like Russell Stootley are doing now, and it's in another league to what I was teaching. So I must admit, I probably would have gone off for a year and just gone and trained in other stuff to make me better. The pressure points I can do pretty well. Did I hear what was my favourite martial arts moment ever? We'll do that right at the end. Hey? Oh, I better tell them about these two. No, yeah. Okay. So I'm lying in my hospital bed and I'm going, I don't want this to go to this person. This is what I'm going to have left. My legacy. So I woke up and I phoned up these two gentlemen. Mike's been with me for 13 years, 15 years. Dev has dropped back a bit recently because of his job and moving about more, but he's done a good 10 years with us. And these were my first 2 third dans I ever awarded, and was very proud to do so. And I said, look guys, I can't sell the dojo to you, we said. What about you? What about you taking it over? And they went off and they thought for nearly a second, and they jumped in. So Mike is now taking over as chief instructor of the Spiritual Warrior, and Devon is, what was the term you wanted? Godhead, was it? Because that's my one. He gives Godhead, that was it. So, you're not supposed to laugh, I'm in trouble if you laugh. So, guys, my legacy will continue because I trust these guys with my absolute life. And when I'm gone, you know, they will look after Sarah. If they ever play her about, you now can recognise them and you can go and do bad things to them. Is that a deal? Yeah. Good. All right. So, well done, guys.
Okay. Thank you. So Tony actually restored my faith in martial arts. I was wondering a bit. I've been training in martial arts for over 25 years now. Meeting Tony really gave me, I guess, a renewed energy into trying to explore exactly what I could get from it. But I think more importantly, since Tony announced that me and Mike were going to be taking over, I've never had so many well-wishers, people that I know and don't know, getting in contact with me to say anything that you want, anything that you need, anything I can help you with, we're quite prepared to give. And I think that's really a measure of the type of people that Tony's gathered around him over the many years that he's been involved with, nice and decent people such as yourself. So I just wanted to say thanks to Tony because he gave me my opportunity to really start instructing in martial arts and really trying to pass on the very limited skills that I've acquired over the years onto people that really want to know. I'm old school kung fu. I'm used to scrapping and kicking and sparring, and I've learned so much by being involved with Tony with pressure points and meeting a whole load of great people. So thank you very much, and thank you Tony, Sarah, for giving us the opportunity to continue the legacy and really create something that's going to, and me and Mike talk about it very much, but we're in the game of helping people become better versions of themselves. And having the privilege to be able to do that, each and every day has already changed my life. I love to help people, and what a better platform could I ever ask for? So thank you very much, Tony, and you're still an inspiration. You always will be, and very much appreciated.
I'll keep this brief because I know you want to get back to hurting each other. Most of you will know me either from various dinners, awards, seminars, that sort of thing. I met Tony just over 15 years ago, and I'm not afraid to say it, he took someone that was broken and remoulded them and reforged them into the person you see today. I can't thank him enough for that, honestly. And just to echo what Dev said, that is the ethos of what we want to be about. We don't care where you come from, what styles you've done before. If you haven't done anything before, we want you to come in, enjoy yourselves, train hard, and as Dev rightly said, make the best version of you that you possibly can be. So thank you very much, guys.
Well done, guys, thank you. So, John, can I borrow you on the throw? And we've tried it on the arm now. I'd like to see us do a couple of other arm-based things, which I rather like, which will hopefully lead you. Why do I like PowerPoint? PowerPoint. Because it's easy to use. And Sarah does it all. Imagine a fight. Daniel, get out my PowerPoint. Fucking hell, I've lost it. When I discovered the whole essence of pressure points, I realised that it also gave me another advantage. And what advantage would that be, do you think? Giggling. Healing. Healing? I don't want to heal him, I want to smack the fuck out of him. It gives me time. It does give me time potentially, but it also gives me a level of control, doesn't it? Because if I just bang him out, what could happen? There was someone the other day, wasn't there, in Coventry, got punched and was killed, I believe. So what pressure points give me are options. And I called it striations of violence. So it's like from level 1, which I always would say, you know, if someone's nicked your ice cream, you're not going to go and smash them and curb them, are you? Unless you gaff. He does like his ice cream. Or Mrs. Pillage with a Magnum. Do not ever, ever try and take... Sarah, how many people would you kill for a Magnum? Excuse me, I'm just going to have some morphine because it's fucking great. Cheers.
It's actually Metacam for the cat.
Yeah, so it gives me, I hope, different levels of violence. So I'm not going to go and curb someone for that, but what would be the other level? What would be right at the other level to me would be someone who's going to stab me, they're going to take my keys, they're going to go home, torture and rape my wife and cat. I haven't got any kids, but the cat's really attractive. Don't laugh, it fucking is. Is my cat not attractive? Yes. Thank you very much. And it does smell though, doesn't it? Your pussy smells. So, you started it. I'm in so much trouble now. What was really brave 30 seconds ago is now, I'm sorry. John, you're coming home with me, right? Okay. To the other end of the spectrum, where I'm not just going to try and get him off. To try and make him release me, I fucking will just do it. Right, sorry. Someone's going to grab. So someone's come up and grabbed here. Again, we've got so many options now, it's amazing. But this is the first level, is basically drunken uncle at wedding, he's a bit pissed, he doesn't know what he's doing, but it's all getting a bit out of hand. So it needs to be controllable. So we're going to take just on the inside of the arm, there. Oh, hello. That has bonuses. So I could pull him off downwards. Arise. Or I could open him up. Okay. John's had over 60 cage fights. Pussy.
Yeah, but you don't see much of that in the cage, do you?
What? Big take. But the thing is, it's a nerve cluster there. We don't know it's there, because we don't go around touching ourselves. But that fucking hurts. The first time someone did it to me, I nearly vomited. So grab, just on the inside of the arm, look. There's the joint. It's just there where you'll see the bruise. And you'll all go home with a little memento bruise. My gift to you, okay? Off you go. Up it a little bit. I can think of loads of reasons why, because there'd be a lot of screaming. Oh, well volunteered, sir. So, watch what happens. He's grabbed. There's my first pinch. This time, I'm going to do that breathing thing we did. Now, explain the difference.
White light.
White light. I'm going to. No,
we're going into
not the fucking hell. You're taking my place. Good man. Fucking awesome. It goes a lot more. But what I'm going to show you is this. This is a little cheat, and any pressure point instructor who doesn't explain doing that to you is a cheat. Anyone know what I'm doing? You are a fine man, sir. Yeah, because you're making the whole, circle, if you like. But it's really important. Okay, so what we're talking about is, in karate parlance, when you drop into that stance, I think it's got the best name of any technique, Nikawakadashi. Who does karate here, may I ask? I know you do karate. What, Peter? You're much more of a traditional martial artist, aren't you? I've heard that as well. But when you started off your journey, how was that explained to you as a position? Yeah? Yeah. I would say 90% of what I've learned when we started off is complete touch. So as you've gone on a little bit further, what was that for? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I think if you listen to a lot of the pressure points have names. So for example, kidney 1 is known as bubbling spring, or the 3 yin crossing. So in other words, there are 3 nerves going over spleen 6 here. Okay. Kidney 1 is if you just feel it's there. The minute I go up and take the weight off it, it basically bursts a flood of energy into you. You combine that with the breath, and all of a sudden you've got like a little nuclear rocket on the end of your technique. So if I can just do the same thing again, try not to scream or wet yourself, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah, it would.
So I'm going to do the breathing with that. Went up again, I'm assuming. Mm. Okay, so you can't wait to do that, can you? So, start off with a pinch, then just do the breath, then do the breath with the foot, and now we're getting to the realms of true pirate. Because if they go they're a fucking pirate. It's the truth. Off you go, thank you, sir. Here's the reality. There are about 8%. There are about 8% of people who are not as pain sensitive as most. You're all quite good with points, aren't you? Yeah. But it's mainly teenage girls where you're finding that the myelin sheath around the nerves is developing. So some of these are really hard to put on a girl and dad. So this is why I always say the pressure point is the pressure tip on the end of your arrow. You've got, it's all well and good of me saying, like, I'm going to hit you on stomach 5, down. It's not really knocked out, is it? So I'm going to smash him as hard as I can. If it hits that point, brilliant, and he will go out. Okay? So that was our first one, which was basically from here, physically at least I'm lifting him up. All that opens up. Okay, so what we can do as well is try the same thing on the triceps. Now, as you know, he's not very sensitive. Wanker. Hey? The tricep is a really good one. You can grab it and he'll start tapping his own nipple. What do you decide? Yeah, so again from that grab, just come in. Now I know that I'm going to put him downwards, but literally the knee starts moving, my knee is the knee. Going towards his head. Okay? So try that from the outside and rip down. Let's have the last sort of 10 minutes. Just any questions you want about the cancer, whatever you want to know, guys. Sir?
Mr. Pillage, and it's your first time here. I would like to ask you, what is your beginning, your start, your journey in martial arts? Where did it all begin?
Oh, for fuck's sake, this is a good one. And it's very apt, to be honest. Like most of us, I'd done some karate as a kid, I'd done some judo as a kid. I concentrated on rugby, that was my great love. And anyway, cutting long story short, I had a deep vein thrombosis in my good lung, as it is now. Nearly died. Came out, this was after a car accident, and I came out and a guy knocked on the door. And he said, I'm from a local karate club. And I thought, I've got to do something again. I've got to get, because I've always been sporty, I've done all sorts of shit. And I ended up, within 3 months, teaching at GKR. But someone's going to ask me a question, weren't they? Hey?
What's your wife's ring size?
Excuse me? Hang on, excuse me. NASA knows your ring size. It's been an enlightening day. Right. So, I was there for a couple of months, started teaching more and more, and I think I have 3 martial arts moments which are outstanding. The first one was standing in front of my class for the first time because the instructor didn't turn up, and I had to take the class. And I knew from that moment onwards that's where the rest of my life had to be. There was no question, and I was very lucky. There's a wonderful book. If you haven't read it, I would beg you to read it. It's called The Alchemist, and it's amazing. And it tells you, it's talking about a lad who's trying to find what they call his legend. In other words, where he should be. How many of you in life, with work, of where you want to be? Yeah, you are. Yeah, but that's not many, is it? That's not many of you. And take my word, when you get to my age, and with what's going on, you look back, and money, was always a god to me back in the early days. But when we've taught our martial arts, we've seldom taken it over $1,000 out of the club. Why do we do it? Because we fucking love what we do. We like seeing the profound changes that happen in people. So I basically started the way of the spiritual warrior as a GKR green belt. and basically went and trained with the best people. On a Wednesday, I'd go down to see Mo Teague down in Weymouth with that horrible bastard there. We ended up in Cornwall twice, but we were there by 9 o'clock in the morning because that's what he'd asked for. From fucking Coventry, and he was from Liverpool. We'd meet up at 4 o'clock, wouldn't we, on the motorway. But gradually, 5 years later, I get on the front page of MAI, and I'd headline Senate because I'd found my legend, which was the pressure points, and I just happened to be really good at it. And I think the thing is, just out of interest, and be honest, I don't give a shit because I'm dying. Who's enjoyed today? Brilliant. Okay. Why? Has it hurt? Yeah. How many of you were smiling while it was hurting though? But isn't that wonderful? And that's why I think I got infamous, I think is a better word. I got infamous because we have fun when we're doing this. It's a fucking painful thing. So when you start going in, this is like the entry level stuff. When you get to the bad stuff, it's horrible. I mean, it really is horrible. But if you can do it with a smile and a laugh and with good energy, no one goes out of here thinking, what a horrible afternoon, I've been bullied shitless, do they? They go out there with an experience, I hope. Good question, Lisa, thank you. Question?
Just one question with final was, you know, you've got to share those in design, but one thing when you look at this you haven't done, rebirth design, what do you think?
Kate Beckinsale. No, I've thought about it a lot, to be honest. and then I found out, Jack Whitehall, I thought, no, love, no, Biff, maybe. No, what, are you talking about martial arts or life? I would have loved to have climbed up to Machu Picchu. The thing is, I was very, 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 very honoured to give a keynote speech last Sunday, was it, Sarah? 2 Sundays ago, for Gordon Bircham. There's quite a few faces over there. And it was full of the movers and shakers in the martial arts industry, and some idiots, as you all get at these events. And we started talking about what is important in life. And it was really interesting because they had to cut me back a little bit, so I missed quite an interesting point, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. And it's about a Mexican fisherman. And Mikey Wright, you're here, aren't you? Remember I told you about this? The Mexican fisherman. The Mexican fisherman. And the strap-on. Now he remembers. Basically it's this. Very, very corporate American guy is walking down the beach in Cancun, and he sees a guy having a drink with some friends, playing cards. And he said, do you mind if I join you, gentlemen? He goes, no, not at all. He said, well, what are you doing? He said, we're having a game of cards, having a drink, as we do every afternoon. He said, that's amazing. What do you do in the mornings? He says, I fish. I'm a fisherman. He says, I go out 6 o'clock, get enough fish for my family, get enough money to do this, and then the following day I'll do the same thing. He said, have you ever thought about expanding, getting another boat? He says, no, what would that mean? He said, well, you get double the amount, which means you could gradually work towards perhaps getting a little sourcing plant here. So you're going to make more money. He said, never thought of that, to be honest. He said, and then what happens after that? He said, well, then you buy some trucks, and those trucks will start distributing your fish all around America. He said, they already can, because you've got your own canning factory now, and you're going to make so much money, it's ridiculous. He said, and then what happens? He said, well, then you'll have enough money that on an afternoon you'll be able to sit down with your friends, have a drink, and play cards. And it's so true, isn't it? And this is what worries me about a lot of people. Where are you actually going with your lives? When you've been given a terminal thing, it's quite hard to deal with, obviously. And, you know, it's been a battle like fuck. But what I've realised is, truthfully, all you do need is love. And the love we put out on Facebook is amazing. I see a change in it. And there's this organic group here who I just think are amazing. You know, and somehow we've all got together, and to have 150 people turn up to a seminar, where it's hard, if anyone's doing seminars now, it's hard to get 5 or 6 people to turn up. And I'm really honoured that you made the effort today, so I can't thank you enough for that. But it's about sharing happiness. If you're doing stuff in your life that does not make you happy, why the fuck are you doing it? Why? Because you're expected to. And it's not the case at all. It's about living your life how you want to. And there was a thing in one of my favourite films, Natural Born Killers, and he talks about becoming God of your own universe. And that's what I tried to do. From that moment onwards, I tried to do that. I tried to create a world that I enjoy living in. And do you know what? It's the best thing I've ever done. And being honest with people. You know, just being blindingly honest. People always say this to me. How can you say that? Because it's fucking true. I've upset most of you, I hope. But how many people have I insulted? Yeah, there's a few more hands on that one, yeah, you don't count. But it's about happiness, and it's about finding your legend and something that will just float your boat and make you happy, because there is nothing better than that. I see Devon's face when he talks about the dojo. He's got the same pride. I see Mike talking about it. He's got the same pride in what we created there. And it was special. And it was a unique and beautiful experience we did for 17 years. We shouldn't have lasted 5 minutes, you know, but we did. Another question, please.
What are your top 3 pressure points? You go-to pressure points?
I think it would depend on the situation, but come out and I'll show you. Just right there,
I know what's coming now.
You really don't. Who's a horrible, nasty bastard? Gav? Can I borrow you a minute? Will you get between this man's thighs?
Gav. Hang on.
Let's introduce yourself.
Should we let them know I'm known as the big walloper?
What a raptor for play.
Would you do a knee roll over spin 6?
Sorry.
That's spin 13. The one there.
Oh, on the inner gate, sorry.
Okay, that'll do.
What it does, it gets a sense of rhythm for people. That's the first one.
That's the first one. No, one's enough, I only need to know one.
Okay. The second one is a weird one. The second one is a weird one. And Mike, as Devon, you've escaped for a long while. I love the Golgoy tendon. So someone's grabbed, we take them across here. Now, we basically rub, take them down. Now, would you do the same thing and then do the roll for me, please?
The roll over?
Over the elbow of your knee.
Sorry, mate. Well, depending on your entry, if we're going here, bring them down. I like to come this way. I can say now, don't move, but I'll break it. Sorry, Dev. I'm not really.
It's okay, yeah.
The good thing about this is I've got 2 hands left to play with his mates. If he annoys me, all I've got to do is straighten my right leg, listen to the tap, or rotate to the right. And if I rotate left, I'm away.
Oh, you want me to rub?
You want me to rub him?
So rub him down, take him down, put the arm straight on the floor.
Don't go that way.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dev.
And then you just roll that.
Now this one here,
I don't know if you can see this, cause I'm extra nice, I'm gonna snap his wrist. Or I'm gonna come here and gouge out his eye, or touch him up. But I'll take that off because it's not nice. If he annoys me, I like to just snap fingers. Say, what do you mean it's not your round? So, sorry then.
That's what counts as foreplay before, isn't it?
Yeah. It's better if you've got a floor full of glass or a garden full of dog cack. Share the love, guys, share the love.
Mahesh. I'm going to be nice to him actually because his wife has been attending to me in hospital and she's been brilliant.
She's a nurse, by the way.
Now, that's a lovely little thing to do, especially when you vibrate it. Now, come on. You start this. Get on your all fours, please.
Yeah. Who's going first?
No, I didn't mean that, actually. Just sit up. There you go. A lot of Tokyo students, I always say this because it's interesting, was fighting the Vietnam War, and they couldn't be seen wallowing them with sticks. So they had to work out a way to get them out of the roads. So just press them behind the ear and just move them through that. So that's one I like. But there's hundreds of them. It just depends on the situation. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
One last question. Peter.
The question is, picking up on what Mr. Bailey was saying, really more a statement. Where's Danny Bigley? Danny and I were just, where are you? Yeah, you were so easy to miss. Danny and I were talking a few minutes ago. I personally didn't come here for technique. Everything you've done today, I've done with you before. It's great technique, but that's not what I came here for. Okay? I came here because it's your event is to be with you today. But crucially, to my mind, what you're best at in the martial arts isn't pressure points, it's not living, it's not hitting hard. What you're best at is getting people together. And I'm not a commentary person, but I've got a lot of very happy memories from being in your dojo. And people here, last week I was with Mr. Kirkland and Mr. Butts in Cambridge, been to Danny's dojo for his children in need things. I was up with Gavin last summer, and all these people I've met because of you, and you've just got this incredible knack of getting people together.
Oh, thank you.
And getting positive energy in the room, and yeah, that's, so I've got some memories I'll treasure from the time I spent with some of these people here.
That's really kind, but just, what was your favourite one?
What, from you or from your dojo?
From the dojo.
Well,
I think the singing.
Because you used to do these whole weekend seminars. I've only actually managed to do one of them because life being as it is. I think it was the first one you did, where some hardcore did Friday evening until I did Saturday morning until Sunday evening, and throughout the whole weekend, we had yourself, we had Gavin Mulholland. I've lost track of who we had. Dave Giddings doing his awesome ninjutsu, and most people kind of disappeared on the Sunday morning, Sunday lunchtime. A very small hardcore of us were left right until Sunday evening. It was my birthday, and Tony Bailey even bought me a birthday muffin. There you go. And the last session of the love a bit of muff. And the last session of the weekend was Gavin, and you gave us what, a fortnight's worth of bodyguard training in an hour, or something like that. And I mean, it was painful. I remember you dropping me just on my head and holding me there. But it was just great.
Not like me, though.
Yeah, it was just great. And these kinds of memories that we've got of the people, and it's all down to you bringing us together and making that happen.
Thank you.
Just want to follow on with that point Pedro made. Myself and a couple of the heads, if you like, we've all got our own different things going on from around the country, and we all teach our own different things. But as I says, there's no use you this and use you that. We all get together. Hopefully it's going to be a long time away before he eventually goes and he's not in a state to train. But myself, Tony, Neil, Naz, the big fella whose name's just gone right out of my head. Sorry, Rich. Come here, you sexy bitch. Right. We're going to have a meeting before we go today.
Kathy, a few of the other guys, Sam, we want to get the instructors who've trained together in the past, and we're going to plan some more get-togethers for the future. What we've done and what we did and the way we did it, it's going to carry on. We're going to use the Coventry Dojo as the base. As you know, with my splendiferously neutral accent, I live in the centre of the universe. But you can't all come to me because you all live in different parts of the country. But Coventry is right in the middle of the country, so we can all be here within 2.5 hours for most of us. So, come the new year, get Christmas out the way. We want to start getting the Saturday afternoon or the Sunday afternoon and the Weekend Warriors events. We want to get them up and running again. Hopefully, you'll still be there with us.
I'll do my best.
So, we're going to sort that out today.
Bring him out like Mr. Burns.
Sorry?
Simpson. We'll bring you out like Mr. Burns on Simpson.
Yeah.
Twat. Guys, all I can say is, again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. This has been I was so looking forward to today. And yesterday, I was literally all day on the sofa. I couldn't even get up my stairs without breathing. And I had an early night. And to be honest, there was nothing in the world that was going to stop me doing this. But I did it. And I fucking enjoyed it.